Hello, it's Grypher here, doing a review on the new Tier 8 Kriegsmarine destroyer, the Z-35. Now, I am on the map Greece in a random battle. I am bottom tier, so Tier 8 in a Tier 10 game. Now, Z-35 is one of the latest Tier 8 iteration for wargaming for the German DDs. And here's my captain and upgrade module. This is what I would consider a stock DD captain, 19-point captain. I have built it as a gunboat destroyer, so I've got more hit points and BFT and superintendent. Now this destroyer has 5x1 or single barrel turrets, 128mm guns, 1500 maximum damage per shell from the HE, which can pen up to 32mm of armour, so that's quarter pen with the German HE, and 3000 maximum damage per shell with the AP. It's got a few good strengths and a few obvious weaknesses. One of the weaknesses is her concealment. 6.2 kilometers at Tier 8. It's middle of the ground, in my opinion. You can still do a lot with it, but it'll be hard to out-contest some of those really stealthy boats, unless they let themselves get ambushed, or you can find them and use your hydro. She's got quick smokes. I've got superintendent here. You can see I have got 7 smokes. They deploy quickly, very quickly, as you'll see in this replay. And they also load up fairly quickly, so similar to what one would anticipate for the Royal Navy smokes in essence. Another one, I say she's a gunboat because her torpedoes are 6 kilometers, so at Tier 8, concealment being 6.2 and torpedoes being 6 kilometers, they reload every 90 seconds without any modifications, and they go 64 knots, so they're a little bit zippy. But yeah, that 6Ks makes it a little bit difficult to unless they're pushing into you and you're kiting out, or you ambush vessels all through gaps. She's a zippy boat, 38 knots, which isn't too bad for a Tier 8, and I would class her anti-aircraft as slightly underwhelming in all honesty. Now, in this random game, you could see I pushed in, I came up against the Shimakaze, so using the island here to break the amassed fire that the Georgia, Targa and the Republic were going to lay upon me, I got the Shimmer out of our cap. So that's a bit of a win, because in essence he outspotted me by a good 800 meters. So we've got a Georgia coming through. I want to start using these guns. So the 10-second smoke deployment, as you can see. I know AP, here we go to the AP. You'll see the AP pins here. So that was 15. It's hard to see with those mods. That one was 3200. So the AP does hurt a fair chunk. Smoke's down, but it's up for another 25 seconds, and my smoke's re-available in about 23-24 seconds. So depending on your captain builds, if you put in things that will give you quicker consumable reloads and your flags, you could probably get that down to 20 seconds or less, so which is quite handy in essence when you can have a heavy CV focus type thing. But as you can see, the smokes don't last that long, so even though she's a gunboat DD, you still want to be careful with how you use it. Now the Georgia made me happy here. He's well within my 6k range. I'm using this little island here just to be annoying in all essence. I thought the Shimmer had me lit for a moment, but it was actually the Georgia, which is kind of cheeky of him. I got the 1 torp and a flood, which is, in my opinion, kind of fun. Just trying to set fires here. Usually, because she's a gunboat DD, reloads fairly quick. We've got them, as you can see, they come on very quick, just under 3. If I can get a fire, I generally will go AP. And it's a shame it's dark. So here I look at the map where we've got a boat down to the opposition and to ourselves, trying to move into Bravo. Their Helen and other DDs are doing well. Now, just as a preface, this game is a loss for me, but the Z-35, in all honesty, I think played extremely well. It wasn't the boat or its lack of torps that were an issue. So using it in the island here, I'm not being lit, easily can damage this Republic. Remember, she gets the quarter pen German gun, so she damages the 32mm of the Republic's armour, so all this damage, it's going to brutalise that Republic. And we'll come back to the Republic later. We've got a special present for the Republic. Lit here. That was such a good quality of life, allowing every boat to know at least when they've been seen. I remember how many people would not take it way back when it used to be a 1-point skill. So yes, even though I'm using an island, I'm not using my smoke to farm damage, and I'm a DD. Other than trying to engage their DDs, as you can see, the kid's very, very close to his battleship, so it'd be hard to engage him without being focused fired by their heavy cruisers or their battleship. And our other flank, unfortunately, seems to have rolled in on it in itself. So though we're down only one boat, we're up 3 caps. Everyone is concentrated on this side of the map up against a half dozen of the enemy ships, and we're not pushing either. We're sort of trying to farm them at range, which will come undone for this. I'm no exception. I am farming from range. I can't call the pots calling the kettle black when I too am doing that. So at this point, take a few good shots at the Shimmer from range. I can see deltas being capped along the minimap. And I know our Friesland and want to do something about it. Our Shimmer's taking damage, so something's got him lit. It's never good losing your tier 10 DD. Shimmer's in a bit of a pickle. He's got an enemy Talon and he's got the Des Moines. It looks like he would have been radared by the Des Moines. Look at that team focus fire. So yeah, that's what I meant, that even though I should be trying to phase out those destroyers, their destroyers are sitting with their battleships and cruisers, so if I went up close, I would have been focus fired. But at this point, even though the Friesland looks like he's doing the right thing, he's trying to engage now the Jutland and their friends to help the Talon. I've decided to go visit Mr. Republic after I get a little bit more farming on. Farming fires. Still hadn't given up hope. I started to at this stage. We lost a Talon. The Helen torped him, and now we're really concentrated with all our... We've got 3 battleships left, and they're really concentrated on this 1-2 line. And the only thing holding them up is the Republic. Now, our Friesland's asking me for support. In essence, I probably could have gone with him, but the Jutland, the Helen, they're kiting out. And then they got the Talon coming in. I wanted to stick with my strength as well. But as you can see, halfway through the game, 63,000 damage for a tier 8 DD, and have taken about a quarter of my health down. I'm starting to get greedy at this stage. I hear the Republic's forward guns go off and I go, it's about 20 seconds. I want to put the AP at this range. So one torp further back and then one forward. It looks like he's deliberately beached himself. So 31k into that soft up about at those angles. Another 14. He's gone. Not a depth strike, unfortunately, but as you can see, their battleships and their DDs, they're really, really well. I'm being shot from the middle of their remaining forces, so they're quite focused on their fire. So that was kudos to the enemy. Still overall, she's zippy, as you can see. The 38 knots. She gets up there pretty quick, makes her quite agile for a DD. She's got the German hydro, as we were saying, 5 kilometers for ships at the tier 8, so very, very useful, as we'll see in the end. It's not something you'll always see, a tier 8 DD trying to pick a fight with a Des Moines. He's outside the radar range, but I was just trying to help. We definitely had been losing vessels, and we just couldn't. If the Des Moines went down, if they lost their heavy cruisers, could have been able to do something pushing close to those BB. We're unfortunately going to lose our Hindenburg here. Friesland goes down to the guns of the Halland, but I do believe he gets a flesh wound.
We've still got a chance, right?
There we go, the Friesland burnt down the Halland, which is fairly good trade overall. Still 4 boats left versus the good 8 of the enemy. We're down to 1 cap. It's really a foregone conclusion. There were no CVs in this game for me to really test the AA. I have played multiple games now in the Z. I haven't found the AA fantastic, but I haven't shot down a lot of planes either. That's why I said it's a tad underwhelming. But the guns are really good. They rotate. Well, the forward ones rotate really quickly, but the rear ones take a while. So maybe like your Soviet era destroyers at mid tiers, before you get into a gunfight, you really want these turrets rotated the right way. I'm Lee here. The kid has pushed. So very quick smoke. Focus fight. He does get a heal, but he enters my hydro range, and now he's trying to push me to get into minimum spotting range with guns firing. Cheeky fire. Proxied at 2.9 for my guns firing smoke. He will get me here, but I'll also get him. Fair trade, fair trade. 125,000 damage, 74,000 spotting, so I was doing spotting against enemy vessels. I'm in a tier 10 game in essence, even though there's a good chunk of 8s and 9s. It's still a tier 10 game. Not unhappy with it. The end base XP, as you can see on the screen, even though it is a loss for me, I still end up having the highest base XP of either the winning or the losing team. So overall, I found her a very consistent boat. The guns work well. Once you get used to the smoke's actually quite nice. Very short, very quick, so you do your fires and you get out of there, and you can use it to disengage it very, very quickly. But this was the Z-35. Hopefully you've enjoyed this review. I thoroughly enjoy this boat. I don't think she's a terrible boat. She's got her weaknesses and her strengths. Well worth the look in if you like your DDs, in my opinion. Thank you all for your time and have a great
Operation
day.
ends in 5 minutes.